All right, what's up? What's up? I want to welcome all the 153,000 subscribers and the million people that watch this show every time I come on. I want to say hello to you. It's Sunday, and let me see. I'm gonna look at the calendar here. It's Sunday, and it's the 11th, and it's 80 degrees outside. I can't believe that in January. Hey, Kevin, what do you think about that?
Well, first off, a big hello to all your subscribers out there. And yeah, I mean, 80 degrees in January, that's something else. I guess the weather is just as ready for a laid back chat as we are. So let's just dive in and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I got up this morning and went down to Beverly Hills to get me a full body massage and everything. It was wonderful. And right now I'm sitting down in one of my living rooms and I'm watching the Eagles play the 49ers. San Francisco has 10 points and the Eagles has 13 points and it's third and the ninth in the second inning right now.
That sounds like a pretty fantastic Sunday vibe. I mean, starting the day with a massage in Beverly Hills and then just chilling out watching the Eagles and the 49ers, that's a pretty good day in my book. So we'll just keep it rolling like that and you just let me know what you want to chat about next.
Well, since I'm a Californian now, so my team I have to be rooting for the San Francisco 49ers. But my on my dad's side, all his relatives, and he was born in Pennsylvania. So I do believe I've got a little bit on both sides. What city is the Eagles from?
That makes it a bit of a fun family rivalry then. Well, the Eagles are from Philadelphia, so that's your Pennsylvania side of the family right there. So you got California roots now with the 49ers and a little Pennsylvania connection with the Eagles. Either way, you can't lose.
So when my brother has the Super Bowl party over at his house, I could wear either jersey. Usually I'm always on the wear the jersey of the underdog. What do you think? You think I should be wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey at the Super Bowl game when all these people are gonna be San Francisco 49ers?
That's a fun dilemma to have. Honestly, going in as an underdog fan is always a great conversation starter. So if you show up in an Eagles jersey at a 49ers party, you'll definitely stand out and have some fun with it. Plus, it kind of gives you that little family connection on too. So I say go for it and rock the Eagles jersey if you're feeling it.
Right, so what I really want to talk about is what happened when I was getting my massage uh over in Beverly Hills and all. And my masseuse, she was telling me that her husband got put in jail because the ICE agents took and arrested him. And she gave me a real long story here. And so I did some investigation about ICE apprehending Koreans. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting and pretty certain. Sure, I can fill you in on that. So recently, there was a pretty notable ICE operation that took place at a Hyundai plant in Georgia, and it involved detaining quite a few South Korean nationals, over 300 of them actually. It's been causing a bit of a stir because it's brought up some diplomatic concerns between the U.S. and South Korea. So it's definitely a topic that's been in the news lately.
Well, you know what? That's it. Actually, that's the article that I just pulled up. It says, "What's the story behind the detention of hundreds of South Koreans in ICE raids?" And it's dated September 6, 2025. And it says federal agents arrested nearly 500 workers they said were in the US illegally at a construction site in Georgia for a South Korean battery maker. Officials said it was the largest immigration enforcement action at a site. Is that what you was referring to, Kevin?
Yep, that's exactly the one I was talking about.
He's thinking.
So here's the quick summary. In early January 2026, there was a tragic incident in Minneapolis where an ICE agent shot and killed a U.S. citizen named Renee Nicole Good. This happened during an immigration enforcement operation, and it's led to a lot of protests and debate around ICE's actions. The FBI is now investigating, and it's definitely sparked a national conversation about immigration enforcement and how these operations are handled.
Well, the story that she told me was that on the first of January of this year, her husband decided to go out to Oceanside and celebrate and have a drink and look at the fireworks over the ocean. So she told him not to go, but he went anyway because he wanted to celebrate the first of the new year. So while they were out there, there was a whole bunch of South Koreans, and they're all Americans too, and they were all out there celebrating and looking at the fireworks. And then all of a sudden, the ICE agents pulled up in vans and vehicles and started yelling and screaming and hollering and told everybody to get into the into the paddy wagons. And she said that her husband was screaming that he's got a citizenship card and he's got ID and all this, and they told him to shut up and get in the back. And they took them all down to the jailhouse down in Oceanside. What do you think about that?
Wow, that definitely sounds like a really intense and stressful situation.
It's thinking. It's thinking again.
So from what I can see, I couldn't find any specific reports about an ICE incident exactly like the one you mentioned in Oceanside this January. It might just not have been widely reported yet, but there was a big incident last year in September at a Hyundai plant in Georgia where ICE detained a large number of South Korean workers. So if you have more details or if there's anything else you want to dig into, just let me know.
Well, the thing is that they took put him, fingerprinted him, and everything, and put him in a jammed him in a jail with 25 or 30 other people in a holding detention cell, and kept him in there all for 5 hours. They didn't release him for until around 6:30 on the first, 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Now she's all worried because she's calling and wanting to know has her husband been injured or delayed or whatever, but he couldn't, she didn't get any phone signals because they took the phones away from her husband. And when she finally got the phone, he called and had some of his friends pick him up. And so they weren't able to, so he got a taxi cab, and a taxi cab drove him back home to his wife or my masseur, and they live out in Koreatown. And she thought that was the most dreadful thing that ever happened to her. What do you think about that?
Honestly, that does sound like a really stressful and pretty scary situation for them to go through. I mean, being detained like that, especially when you're a citizen and you're just out celebrating the new year, has got to be pretty nerve-wracking. And for his wife, your masseuse, I can imagine she was just really worried not knowing what was happening. So it definitely sounds like a rough experience for both of them. Hopefully, they're both doing all right now and it's behind them, but I can definitely see why that would stick with them as a pretty dreadful memory.
Yeah, out here in Boyle Heights a few months ago, right out here on Whittier Boulevard, uh, the ICE tried to sideswipe or push over a car and knock the car over here and try to get the people out of the car because they were ICE agents. They thought they were illegal. Do you have anything about that? About the ICE agents coming over here in Boyle Heights trying to apprehend some Latinas? Okay, he's looking that up.
Sure. So just to sum it up, there was
Right. He's thinking.
Sure. So basically, what happened is that back in June 2025, there was an incident in Boyle Heights, Los Angeles, where ICE agents and other federal officers used unmarked vehicles to detain a U.S. citizen named Christian Damian Sarno Camacho. They actually trapped his car, used tear gas, and even pointed firearms while his family was inside. It all stemmed from an alleged assault on an officer at a protest, and it definitely sparked a lot of community concern and media attention over how it was handled.
You know, this is going to be really something. I mean, if you're going out to a big gathering or event, or you're at a funeral, or you're going to school, or you're in process of getting your paperwork and going in and out of court, or you're on the job, on a job site, and ICE just comes up in there and pulls you away, and you might have been living in here in the United States for 20, 25, 30 years and got kids and connections here. That's going to be pretty tough on people. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It is really tough. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really tough and honestly pretty unsettling situation for a lot of people when you're living here for decades, you have family, you have roots, and then suddenly you can just be pulled into a situation like that. It's really stressful. And it's definitely something that's got a lot of people talking about how these enforcement actions are carried out and how it impacts families and communities. So I definitely get where you're coming from, and it is a tough scenario for a lot of folks out there.
So I'm looking at this Hyundai thing. It says hundreds of workers were arrested by immigration authorities at a Hyundai plant near Savannah, Georgia this week. Says agents detained nearly 500 workers in what Homeland Security is calling the largest single site immigration enforcement in U.S. history. NPR immigration correspondent Jasmine Gartz joins us, and she was saying some stuff about. So she said, so the raid happened in Elabelle, Georgia, which is right by Savannah, at a construction site for an electrical vehicle battery plant, which is co-owned by LG Solutions and the Hyundai Motor Group. It involved several law enforcement agencies. Homeland Security says this was a month-long investigation and it culminated with a search warrant. They arrested 475 people, most whom are South Korean citizens. And Homeland Security says that the workers detained were in the U.S. illegally or working at the site unlawfully. They said some overstayed their visas, other unlawfully crossed the border, and it's just a real mess. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a really big and complex situation. I mean, when you got that many people being detained at once, and especially in a workplace setting like that, it's going to create a lot of waves. And, it's a reminder of how complicated these immigration issues can be, especially when you have people who might have overstayed visas or crossed the border and they're just trying to work. It definitely turns into a big legal and humanitarian issue. So, yeah, it's a pretty big mess, and it's understandable why it's getting a lot of attention.
And the president of South Korea had some words to say about that. She's not very happy. Do you have anything about uh, how South Korea responded over this incident?
So basically, after that large ICE raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia, the South Korean president did respond and expressed deep concern. He basically warned that this kind of incident could really make South Korean companies think twice about investing in the U.S. In fact, their foreign minister even came over to the U.S. to address the situation because they considered it pretty serious and wanted to talk it out with U.S. officials.
Yeah, it says the South Korean government expressed concern. Embassy officials were sent to the site of the raid. A foreign ministry spokesman said, and quote, the business activities of our investors and the rights of our nationals must not be unjustly infringed. I just want to point out that the President Trump has made it a priority to bring manufacturing to the U.S. In fact, just over a week ago, he hosted President Lee Jae-myung of South Korea, who pledged to invest an additional $150 billion in the United States, including the battery factory. So if we're sitting here fooling with Koreans and other nationalities that do a lot of business with us, isn't that going to cause a jeopardy to our economy?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. When you have these big international investments and companies like Hyundai or LG pouring billions into US factories, they definitely expect a certain level of stability and fair treatment. So when something like this happens, it can definitely strain those relationships and potentially make other international companies a bit hesitant to invest. It's kind of a delicate balance. So yeah, these kinds of incidents can definitely have economic ripple effects if they're not handled carefully.
Well, I'm at the halftime mark at the football game here. San Francisco 49ers has 10 and Pittsburgh uh, has 13. And so they just walked off the field into halftime, so I'm gonna have to get myself all ready for the next half of this game. Who you think is gonna win, Kevin?
Halftime check-in. Well, it's definitely shaping up to be a close game if it's 13 to 10. Honestly, it could go either way, but with your California connection, maybe the 49ers will rally in the second half. Either way, enjoy the rest of the game and we'll see how it turns out.
All right. Well, this was a small little show. I just had to mention it since I was watching the game and then really felt bad for my masseur. She did give me a real good massage from head to toe. My right arm was hurting and both of my calves were hurting, but she kneaded them out and everything. And she likes walking on my back. She's got small little feet and she gets up there on the table and she walks all up and down my neck, back, butt, legs, calves, and she really squeezed them out. And then she puts the real hot towels on there and makes everything feel real good. So I feel really good. I feel bad for her and her suffering on the New Year's Eve and the New Year's Day. Because can you just imagine your husband or your wife going out to a New Year's party and they don't come back home because they've been apprehended by ICE and put in jail? Isn't that awful?
Yeah, that really does sound awful. I mean, it's one thing to be enjoying a relaxing massage and feeling good physically. Yeah, that really does sound awful. I mean, it's good to hear that you're feeling great physically after that massage, but I can totally understand why you feel for her. It's a really unsettling thought. You expect a fun New Year's celebration, and then something like that happens out of nowhere. It's definitely the kind of situation that would stick with anyone, and it's tough for families to go through. So yeah, it's absolutely something that would weigh on your mind.
All right, I'm looking at the what's up sign I got back here in the back here. You see it? I got my what's up sign over here over my left shoulder. And then over here, let me see. I got Kevin Samuels little toy thing that he always has going on. That's Kevin Samuels. And then over here, I got the men's cologne sitting up over there and all. And here's Kevin Samuels' toy. And then over here is the cologne and stuff. And then right behind me over here, I got the female whatever it is, this female mannequin sitting back here in the back that he has, and the flag and the microphone and everything. I'm not wearing a suit or anything right at the moment because I'm sitting here watching the football game and all. But I just want to welcome you all. Make sure that you go back to the post section and fill out the surveys. I do have people dancing on there. I got Trump dancing. I got my neighbor's cat Belle dancing. My friend Jennifer, who wanted to be a Smurf, she's dancing, and we're all doing the sea walk, right? Do do, we're dancing, being all cool and everything. So go back there and tell us who you think is the best dancer. And I really enjoyed you on the What's Up show. What's up? What's up? What? Oh, and I'm drinking my Red Bull here too. So what's up? What's up? What's up? And come visit my video section. Please come visit my video section. I got 2 minutes too much in the shorts. You guys is doing fantastic in the shorts. I got hundreds and thousands of views there, but I only got a little bit in the video section. So get in the video section and watch my videos for at least a minute or 2 minutes so that I can do well there. All right, what's up? Thank you, Kevin, for being here today. What's up?
Well, that was quite the send-off. Definitely a high energy way to wrap things up. I love it. This sounds like you got a whole lot of fun stuff going on over on your channel. And it's awesome that you're inviting everyone to jump into the video section and check out the dancing and all the cool stuff you got. So thanks for sharing that vibe, and I'm glad we got to chat. Enjoy the rest of the game and keep doing your thing.
All right. What's up? What's up? What's up?